everyone, thanks for joining me for another art journal page. Today I'm working in the Dina Weekly Media 6x6 craft journal, and I'm starting out by applying some white paint that I've watered down, and I'm dragging it along the top edge of my page so that I can create a bunch of drips. Next, I'm taking Dina Weekly Media gloss spray, and I'm grabbing some of that with my pipette and squeezing it along the top so that I can create drips. And then I'm going to allow this to dry 100%. Now, the names of these products and everything else I'm using in the video are listed in the description below. After the drips had had a chance to dry, I'm applying two different colors of distress paint with a mini blending tool to the Holtz Brushstrokes stamp set. And I'm going to stamp this several times on my page until I can get the exact look that I want. So you can see because I'm applying the two colors and I'm swirling it, it's mimicking two different colors of paint in a brushstroke sort of pattern. And I'm going to keep doing this, like I said, until I have all of the circles that I want on my page, and then I'm letting that dry. Now I'm taking a white Posca paint pen, and I'm doodling little lines along the edge of my page to create a very loose, whimsical border. And I'm going to do several of these lines in that curly shape, and then I'm going to let that dry. I'm using another color of gloss spray to create splatters over everything that I've done so far to kind of tie it in and push some of that pattern in the back. So when I grab all of my die cut pieces, that will not be quite as much of a focal point, and I'll focus more on all of these florals. Now I used several different sets of die cuts and printed papers that I had created to make all of these florals. Again, everything that I used to create these is listed in the description below, the exact names and all of that. So I'm starting out by layering all of the darker flowers first, all of the silhouettes that are darker first, and then I'm going to work dark to light. So you can see I have the darker greens, the darker pinks, and now I'm going to start moving into the lighter colors of flowers that I created. I'm also using things that are a little bit smaller, working bigger to smaller as I move closer to myself. And these are a couple of the flowers that I die cut onto watercolor paper, and I'm using several colors of distress ink and a wet paintbrush to create a very loose watercolored flower. And then I'm going to allow these to dry before I glue them onto my page. After making sure everything on my page is 100% dry, I'm using a Fude ball pen to make little X marks, or actually something to mimic cross stitch marks, on several places throughout my page so that I give it that homey handmade look of stitching. After the watercolor flowers have dried, I can glue them all down with a distress collage medium, and I'm just placing them in different areas a little bit taller than the rest of the flowers so that they really stand out from the darker flowers in the background. I'm putting down distress collage medium with the fine tip bottle, as that will control how much glue is actually applying to these flowers, because I did use distress ink to color them, which is a water reactive product. And I find using this precision nib lets me apply the glue right where I want it without wasting or having excess glue around oozing on my page. So I really like using this bottle to do these kind of fine detailed items. To finish my page, I grabbed a sticker from the Holtz Ideology Small Talk set, and I'm cutting it apart with my scissors so that I have, instead of one long strip, I have three smaller pieces for my quote. I really like the look of cutting apart titles and quotes in the staggered format, as I feel like it adds a lot more interest and takes up more space on the page instead of it being in just one long section. And with that, my page is complete. I hope you were inspired and got lots of ideas. If so, I'd love to see what you're working on, so take a picture and post with hashtag #ArtJournalJunction. If you liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up, and also hit the subscribe button to let YouTube know you want to see more of our mixed media videos in the future.